I mean, I can see Eve. At least she was duped. I get that.
But Adam, the atom bomb, he knew. He knew what he was getting into. But he was like, well, you ate the forbidden fruit. I guess I'll eat it too. Now this whole world jacked up just because of him. Sounds like you need to go on a trip to the perfect place. What? I'm about to take you on a journey to a whole new world. You can come too. Imagine yourself waking up in a world where everything is perfect. Perfect air, no pollution, no hunger, no crime, no starvation. A place where everybody has everything they could possibly want. Now, there are laws in this perfect place, but they're common sense laws. Laws that people don't even give a second thought about breaking. I mean, why should they? They got everything they want. And the ruler of this perfect place is about as warm and benevolent as a ruler can be. In this place, you got everything you could ever dream of. In addition to perfect health. In fact, you got the body of a 20-year-old. You never get tired, never get old. Strong as an ox. In the mansion you live in, full of servants, waiting on your beck and call. Now, they're not regular servants. They're the latest in technology. So they don't need to sleep, eat, drink, nothing else, just serve you. And they look just as human as you and me. They're not Cylons, are they? What? I don't want Cylon servants. I don't trust them. Okay, fine, whatever. Anyway, you living the life in this perfect world, got a great relationship with the king, and of course the cherry on top is you run into the girl of your dreams. I mean, she all that in a bag of chips and more. Stop. It's almost as if the king handpicked both of you for each other. That sly fox. You two take to each other like peanut butter takes to jelly. You've never known happiness like this before. In no time, y'all taking a trip down the altar and become husband and wife. Mr. and Mrs. Benny Mac. Every night you go to bed thinking to yourself, there is absolutely no way my life can get any better. And yet, each day proves to be better than the last. You and your wife even become a fixture in the king's palace. Y'all so buddy-buddy with each other, even playing jokes on one another. And every hour, every day, every week, every month, the love you and your wife have for each other just gets stronger and stronger. Y'all can't imagine life without one another. So amongst all the beautiful paradise y'all living in and eternal riches, eternal youth, blessed with the girl of your dreams, and a relationship with the ruler of the planet that's second to none, in addition to obeying the laws, the king only asks one thing from you: your unconditional loyalty to him. What am I, an idiot? Of course I'm going to be loyal to him. That's an unconditional yes. One day, you and your wife, upon arriving home from another exotic trip that you've taken, and of course had the time of your lives, you notice the king's guard at your estate waiting for you. They're there on orders from the king to escort you both to his palace. He wants to see you. Thinking nothing of it, you hop in their vehicles, the both of you, and proceed to the kingdom to see the king. They escort you into the king's throne room. It's kind of unusual. I mean, usually when you're up there on unofficial business, you're in a less official room, less formal settings. Upon entering the throne room, the both of you see the king sitting on his throne. He's staring at both of you, and he ain't smiling. In a tone of voice that you have never heard come from the king, he sternly says to you, my laws, though not strict, are made not to be broken. But one of you have done just that. And then he looks at your wife. What'd you do? Your wife's head drops in sorrow, because she knows what she did. Oh, it ain't like she cheated on you or kill somebody or nothing like that. In fact, the law she broke, she often wondered why it was even a law at all. Really didn't seem like a big deal to her. But she knew what she was doing when she broke it just the same. With a heavy heart, the king tells your wife that she is forever banished from the kingdom. She looks at you, tears streaming down her face. She don't know what to say. The king's expression softens. He knows he just turned your world upside down. And he knows you're going through some unspeakable pain. Unspeakable. So he stands up, steps down from his throne and walks over to you. Gently puts his hand on your shoulder and guides you over to a corner of the room where your wife can't hear y'all talking. And he says in a low hushed voice, "Look, I know this is hard on you. But if I let her slide, I gotta let everybody else slide that breaks my laws. There'll be someone else for you. I can promise you. She'll be every bit as loving and beautiful and make your heart sing for joy just as much as the one you're about to lose." You look over at your wife. She looks at you. Her eyes wide, still full of tears. Her expression hopelessly pleading. At that moment, the thought of being without her is more than you can bear. Not certain you'll be able to go on living without her. In his great wisdom, the king senses this. So he looks over at her, then looks back at you and says, "Look here, there is an alternative. You can stay with her, but you'll be banished too. Y'all will age and get old and have to struggle outside of this kingdom. No more paradise, no more green fields and lush flowers and trees and having everything you want right at your fingertips. The two of you will both struggle and suffer to the day you die, just trying to make it. But you'll be together. What do, Benny? What choice do you make?" "I'm going with my wife." Pretty easy to kick Adam to the curb when you just read a couple of lines about what he did in the Bible, isn't it? But once you read between them lines, things get right interesting, don't they? Of course you're gonna go with your wife. I mean, it ain't like the king created you, like God did with Adam. And Adam had a much stronger relationship with God before Eve came onto the scene. And a whole lot tougher decision to make than you did from a story I just made up from the top of my head. From the top of his head, he says. But it wasn't strong enough. And we can all learn a very valuable lesson from that. If you think that going to church and going to Bible study once a week is going to give you a stronger tie with God than your earthly desires, think again. No, you got to be about Jesus Christ 24/7 for God to be first and foremost in your life. God first. No exceptions.